Shocking revelation.
And you are a heroin addict.
Heroin? You have no idea, as your dad, how much hurt that just caused.
She deceived her family.
Anybody that will use a mother's love to get drugs, that's terrible.
Now comes the moment of truth.
Should I have thrown in the towel?
I want you to pick the towel back up because you're going to need it. Let's do it. If we're going to do something here that matters, then we got to deal with the truth.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, 3, take.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Well, for those of you at home, we shoot the show out here in California, in Los Angeles. And when you think of our neighboring Orange County, California, you immediately envision pristine beaches, sprawling hills, layered with beautiful and immaculate homes filled with picture-perfect families, right? Well, my first guests live in this beautiful community and fit the image and facade that comes with living there. But their life is far from perfect.
If you were to see the way we live, you would think that our lives were pretty much perfect. From the outside, we look pretty much like the perfect family.
Tiffany's had a drug problem with Oxycontin for about 4.5 years. I honestly thought she had beaten the Oxycontin addiction.
Being a police officer and knowing that my daughter engages in illegal activities such as using illegal drugs is very embarrassing. Tiffany's been to rehab numerous times, and unfortunately each time she's failed. No parent likes to admit the fact that they may have a child that's addicted to drugs.
Tiffany has a problem when she's using the drug that she turns into 2 different people. She's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. She'll be talking to you fine, and then she'll turn around to somebody else and pretty much just rip their head off. I'm fed up with Tiffany. We've tried everything we can to give her what we can afford to give her. One of my worst fears is coming in and finding Tiffany dead.
Look, there comes a point, Ken, Susie, you guys love this girl, right? I mean, this is your daughter, and you love her, and she has had a rough go. She's made some bad choices, and she has to own all of those choices. But I want to be very real about what happens when we're dealing with somebody with a drug history. It doesn't happen in isolation. You are not responsible for her doing drugs. You're not responsible for her doing drugs. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when you have a young person with this kind of history, they don't do it in a vacuum. They do it with their family around them. And your reactions have contributed to it, either positively or negatively. And I want you, before we even talk to her, I want you to grade your own papers. If you had this to do over again, Ken, what would you do differently?
I think if I had to do it all over again, I'd probably put more of an emphasis or focus in keeping my first marriage, obviously, together. Or staying married to Susie back years ago when I made the choice to leave. Today, I think over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, I've made choices in terms of probably enabling her to do things that she shouldn't be doing, and that's by financially supporting her in ways that I probably shouldn't, giving her money, buying her car, and just a host of other things like that, I suppose.
When you say that you have enabled her, that's kind of a buzzword everybody uses, but you get what that means is by you financially giving her money, particularly on the heels of her crashing in an effort to get her back up, that you are empowering her to self-destruct. Do you get that?
Yes.
Because you say, well, but I mean, she's in the ditch here. I got to get her out of the ditch. No, it's in that ditch that she may face the fact that she has to make different choices. But if you come along and she totals a car, for example, and you buy her a new one, then listen, kids learn what they live. That's a bad fact, right? And you thought she was completely clean until we called you and said she had written us and said that she wasn't actually clean.
Right.
So how did you miss this? Has she been out of your orbit? Has she been away from you?
Actually, she had just been in a rehab center, and she checked herself out. She wanted to come home because she was hurting so bad with a migraine headache, and the facility wouldn't give her aspirin. She wanted just a Tylenol or something for the headache, and they would not give her the aspirin.
So that's the story she told us.
That's what I think. I don't know any different than that, but that's what I
I mean,
thought.
let's assume that's true, and I think that's complete crap. But
Okay, so
I mean, let's
Okay.
but let's assume for argument's sake it's true. So she checks herself out AMA. So these professionals, you know, doctors, nurses, psychologists, psychiatrists, addiction specialists, all, they don't know anything. She knows she needs an aspirin.
Right.
So she's leaving. And she comes where?
she calls me to come pick her up,
And you
and I picked her up
and take her.
back to her boyfriend's house.
Okay, so you're her taxi cab.
Well, she basically told me if I didn't come, he would come when he got off work. That was just the point.
Did you think about calling him and saying, hey, we don't need to be doing this. She needs to stay right where she is and not having a ride. This crisis may pass.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't think about
Okay,
that.
and listen, I get it. I'm a parent and now a grandparent, and I get how hard it is, which is why I'm talking to you first. Ken,
Sure.
you say you've gone into $40,000 debt for things, knowing that she was an addict. $15,000 on dental school after she left rehab the first time, right? She's never completed a rehab, right? She's left early. Okay, car accident. You suspected drug use, and I think that would be a pretty good guess. And she totaled the car?
Yes, sir.
So there's a good chance she was driving under the influence.
Yes.
Fortunately, she didn't kill herself or anybody else,
Yes.
but she totaled the car,
Yes.
and so you just bought her a new one.
Yes.
You know, when you hear it like that, it sounds, when you put it in, you
It
connect the
does.
dots.
Even with the headache thing, you know what? I
Yeah.
never doubted her for a second. I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, that's why we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I can tell you when she's lying, it's when her lips are moving.
I know that.
Okay,
I know.
now, she was going to be prosecuted for writing bad checks, so you bailed her out, right?
Yes.
And what do you suppose she was doing that money she's writing bad checks for? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You still financially support a car insurance, cell phone, health insurance. I mean, all of these things. And then she comes and says, you know, I need money for hair and nails and that sort of thing, and you give it to her. That's what I mean. Enabling's kind of a, you know, it doesn't sound real bad. You say it real fast. But what it actually amounts to is you've got somebody out here that is on self-destruct.
Right.
And in order to continue that self-destruction, she needs funding. And so y'all make sure she has it. And I have to tell you, that is no different than if you went and bought it for her and gave it to her. Because that's what you're doing. You're just not doing the pickup, but you're doing the financing. And she calls you out of rehab and says, come get me. Mom, come on. Why do you suppose she called you?
Because she knew I'd come and get her.
You reckon that she's learned that she's got you under control. You will do what she wants you to do.
Absolutely.
So that has to change. There's nothing that I can do to help your daughter, who we're going to meet here in a minute. There's nothing I can do to help her if you guys continue to do what you're doing. If you do what you're doing, I might as well thank you for coming, wish you the best, refer you to a good funeral home, and send you on your way, because she will die and you will be guilty in your own minds and hearts for the rest of your life, simply because we've had this one conversation. You didn't choose the drugs, but you're either going to be part of the problem or part of the solution. I want you to be part of the solution. We'll meet Tiffany after the break. Well, I'm here with Ken and Susie. They are divorced now, but they are the biological parents of a beautiful daughter, Tiffany. She has a history of drugs. Now, they believe that she has been okay and off of drugs until she contacted us. She wrote into us and said, look, I'm living a lie here, and I need help coming clean, confessing where I am, talking about what the truth is. So let's bring Tiffany out so you can meet her and add her to this conversation. Tiffany, Dr. Phil, how are you? Have a seat right here. You wrote me a letter. Why now? Why me?
Because I watch your show like every day. And I've seen you help other families. And I didn't really know what else to do.
So you know I take this very seriously. Well, Tiffany said that she's been lying to her parents for the past year. She says that she is ashamed of where she is and what she's doing. Let's take a look.
My parents have no idea that I'm using heroin. I'm really scared to tell them. I switched from Oxycontin to heroin. My body is sick without heroin. I've been to rehab 3 times. All 3 times I didn't finish the program. Right now I'm spending up to $100 a day on heroin. All my money goes to drugs. I would be borrowing money or getting money from my boyfriend saying I need gas. I pay no bills. My boyfriend pays for our housing and my dad paid for my car and my cell phone. Using drugs has made me become a liar. In order to get money from my mom, I'll say I need gas or money to eat. I've stolen money from my dad. I've stolen 20 bucks here, 20 bucks there. I feel like I live a completely double life. In the morning, I drive all the way to the methadone clinic to get the methadone, and then I drive to get heroin, and then I try to make it to work by 9:30, but I have to get that just to get through my day. I am gonna drive real quick right now to go meet so I can pick up some heroin. On my lunch break, I go out to my car to use heroin. I don't even eat lunch on my break. I feel guilty, and I feel like I'm wasting my life. I feel like I'm not ever gonna accomplish anything. I'm so scared, and I never thought my life would end up this way. I don't wanna do this anymore. It's always like this, running around and back and forth. I have to go get something just to make it, you know, through the day.
So, Dad, share what's in your heart.
I'm sorry. Really? I can't even talk.
It's all right. Just talk through the tears. It's all right.
Heroin? Oh, man. I don't know what to say. Honey, that just, you have no idea as your dad what that makes me feel, or how much hurt that just caused. You know, and some of the things that you just said regarding your stealing and doing what you're doing on your lunches. Just living a lie like that.
But half the time in the morning when I go, I just do it to feel normal. Like, it's not fun anymore. It's not. Like, people think, like, oh, doing drugs, fun, friends, partying. It's not. It's my survival. It's to function. It's to feel normal, to go be able to take a shower and to go to work and make it through the day without being really sick.
See, and I don't understand, Dr. Phil, where she's coming with feeling normal and stuff. When you get sick, when you've done the detox a couple times, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, you've failed rehab twice because you've chosen to take yourself out of rehab? Really?
I didn't give enough time for... It takes, like, doctors have told me that it takes, like, up to a month to feel normal, for your body to feel normal again. And I gave in because I just wanted to feel normal.
What do you want to say?
I'm in shock. I didn't know that she was still doing this. I thought she was fine.
I mean, she got a job working at another dentist office not too long ago.
Right when she got out of the rehab facility, she
Yeah.
went right away and got a job so she would pacify us, make us think that things were okay.
She hasn't come around my home because of a relationship or lack of with her stepmother. And that's
I was
why
told I was not welcome in your home.
you're not when you're under the
Okay.
influence or using
No,
drugs.
but you guys thought I was clean, and I was told I was not welcome in your home. And you did not know that I was using.
Well, I knew the other day after you
The
did
other
your-
day,
yeah.
no, I was told I was not welcome in your home when you guys thought that I was clean.
No, but when you came to the home and you were told you weren't welcomed, it was because how you acted at the house and
I'm not talking about on Sunday.
Okay, I'm talking back when you disrespected Christy by yelling at her in our home and
It
acting the
wasn't
way
just
you did.
me.
Regardless, that's what you can't
Okay.
come into our home and talk to Christy like that and expect that you're going to have open arms when you come through the door.
This is the problem. They think that we have family issues because of the drugs, just because of the drugs.
We do.
No.
That's a cop out, Tiffany.
No.
Yes, because when you're not under the influence and you're a pretty young girl that's sober, we never have issues or problems. Other than I know you're gonna resort back and you're gonna say it's because
We've always had issues with my stepmother before drugs. Are you kidding me right now?
Are you kidding me when you said that you haven't had a relationship with Christy before?
On
She's
and
helped
off,
you
on and
detox?
off.
Yeah, it's on when you want it
On
to be
and
on, and
off,
it's off
but
when you're having issues.
That's not true.
It
I'll
is
tell you
true.
what, we're going to take a super quick break here, and we're going to add this stepmother, Christy, and we're going to talk this out and figure out whether there's a plan we can move forward here when we come back.
I definitely think my stepmom uses my drug use to keep me out of the family.
Grow up, Tiffany. If you're not going to care for yourself, then no one's going to care for you.
I feel like my dad chooses my stepmom and my half-brother over me all the time because he got remarried, and even before I was on drugs, they never would call me.
Unfortunately, because of the drugs, we don't have a relationship like we should have.
I lived with my dad for a little while. He basically just said, you know, the only way you can live here is if you're clean. He would drug test me. He knew, and he kicked me out.
Tiffany's addiction has had a major impact on my relationship with my current wife.
It says on this page that I'm supposed to, at this age, give her a car and pay her cell phone and pay her insurance and make sure she has money in her pocket all the time.
My dad tells me all the time, oh, you need to be stronger, and what you're doing is stupid, and you're just weak-minded.
I love Tiffany like no tomorrow, but I don't want her in my home unless she's clean and sober. She needs to be locked down. She needs to be taken away from her friends and deal with her issues.
Well, Tiffany's stepmother, Christy, says she does not want Tiffany in her family's life and says, and I quote, "It's a sigh of relief knowing Tiffany is not walking through my door to visit." Take a look.
Me and my stepmom do not get along at all. I feel like my dad has changed so much. My stepmom has changed him. It makes me hate her. My dad has helped me a lot financially, but if I go to his work to have lunch with him, he won't tell her. Like, it'll be a secret from her because she'll get mad or get jealous.
I feel that Ken favors Tiffany over myself, and it's hurtful. When it comes to Tiffany, Ken will put everything on hold for her.
I definitely think my stepmom uses my drug use to keep me out of the family.
Grow up, Tiffany. If you're not going to care for yourself, then no one's going to care for you. I believe in tough love, and she doesn't like that at all. I think Tiffany has been at the point where she will pretty much do anything that she needs to do to get her drug.
Yeah, hate's a big word. You just said, I hate my stepmother. Do you hate Christy?
No, I don't hate her.
Why did you say that?
Because I'm hurt. I feel like I don't have a dad anymore because of her.
Christy, what do you think about the relationship you have with Tiffany? Is it strained?
Yes.
You're happier when she's not there because of what she brings, what
Yes.
she introduces, and what is that?
This is the thing.
Hey, let me ask Christy, what does she bring into your home that makes you glad when she's not there?
Just Ken and I will argue and fight, negative. It's just not a happy, for the most part, it has not been a happy situation when she's around.
Do you resent your father because he divorced your mother and left you?
He traded one family in for another. Even before my drugs, she has said, I am jealous of you and your father's relationship because me and my dad weren't close growing up. This was when I was like 14. No drugs. Okay. So we were close. Like, I was the only girl. We're gonna have a different relationship than him and my brothers. It's different, you know? And she's always said that she's jealous of that. If I go have lunch with him, he can't tell her. One time, I was getting my nails done and he was with me and he got a pedicure and he couldn't tell her. Why is that?
It's not that I can't. It's not that I can't tell her.
You can, but it'll spark a fight, and you avoid the fight
because she brings up valid concerns or issues about you when we're together. My giving you money. Did you give her money? And you're right. I have sometimes not been honest with my wife Christy because of our relationship. And I again apologize. She knows. I've given things to you that I really shouldn't do. Both your mom and Christy have said, you know, why? Why are you doing these things for her?
That she can be like, oh, I believe in tough love, like.
Obviously,
like,
she's been right though.
Okay.
I mean,
but it's like, I feel like I have a mom, I have a dad. Like, I don't need another tough person on my case every day. Like,
well,
you can be my stepmom, and she's like, I want to be your friend.
The problem is that we haven't been as tough as Christy.
No, but I'm not gonna. With our relationship, how it is, like, I didn't grow up with a stepmom, like, knowing, like, oh, my second mom. Like, it wasn't like that. She came into my life, and I was like, oh, say hi to your new mom. Like, my dad told me, I'll never get remarried. I'll make sure that you guys, like, say it's okay and like her and approve. And you went and got engaged and didn't tell us, okay? I remember, we're engaged, coming home. Okay, she got pregnant. The way I found out, I'm sleeping, and my dad comes and wakes me up, and this is when I was like 12, 13, 14, I don't know. Hey, by the way, her family is coming over today, so just a heads up, she's pregnant. Like, are you kidding me?
I honestly don't remember that.
You don't remember anything, though. I do, and it hurts. You don't remember nothing.
Is that your theory of why you've chosen to medicate yourself?
No, I don't blame that on anybody.
What do you blame it on? Because that's what we're talking about here. The fact is you are a heroin addict, and you did heroin today, correct?
This morning.
You've done heroin this morning before you came here. We'll be right back. The fact is you are a heroin addict, and you did heroin today, correct?
This morning.
You've done heroin this morning before you came here. Okay, so this has got a grip on you. If you don't do it again soon, you'll start to react, correct? If you don't have a fix before the end of the day, you're going to start.
I'll be sick.
You're going to start getting the flu. You're going to start getting real sick. That's the point that we're at, guys. And you say, you know, I thought she was fine. I don't know if you thought she was fine or you just desperately wanted her to be fine. But she's not fine. And there's a lot of family that goes into this. Do you support her getting sober, getting clean, getting her life together? Because, you know, here's the thing. When you're a heroin addict, you kind of lose all credibility on everything else. But when you take that away, there are going to be some family dynamics here that are loose ends and ugly. They're going to have to be dealt with, and you're either going to be part of the problem or you're going to be part of the solution. Right. And I'll promise you, if you ever do anything to come between this father and his daughter, it will wind up biting you really bad. He will resent you for it for the rest of his life. Because if you want a relationship with your husband, you will support his relationship with his children. And And vice versa. I mean, you'll support her relationship with her mother. And you will support her relationship in treating his current wife with dignity and respect, whether you like her or whether you don't. I don't know how y'all get along. I don't really know of one thing in this family that's working well right now. It's just like we're in denial here. It's just like look straight ahead and there are no problems on the sides, but there are. And if you don't think that heroin addiction is fatal, let me tell you, it can be fatal. This has disaster written all over it. Do you see why I talked to you before we brought her out? Because if we continue to do what we've always done, where you get into some kind of treatment somewhere or whatever, and then you decide, well, okay, I want to feel normal again. So you come up with some excuse to walk out the door, and you answer that call and go get her and bring her home and just tuck her right in, and here's $60. Now go get your nails done. You saw her doing her nails on the video.
Sure did.
That's her doing her nails. Do you not resent her using you and playing you for a fool all this time? She knew you loved her. She knew you were committed to her, and she used that against you to deceive and betray you. Your mother has said, and I quote, I will drop everything, and she emphasized everything, if she needs me. 100% accessible for her. I want her to know I love her. And you know that, and you use it to stab her in the back, and shame on you for doing it. Anybody that will take something as pure as a mother's love and use it to get to drugs and betray her, that's terrible. She says if you can't afford to eat, she will cook for you. She takes you to the methadone clinic. Oh, come on. That is what I think of that. That has to be over. That is the relationship you have had. It is now shut down. It is ripped in half. Because if they're not willing to do what I am asking them to do, I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Because you need somebody to tell you the truth. And the truth is you are a spoiled brat, Missy, and they have spoiled you. And so you come out here in your self-righteous, sanctimonious way and criticize the manner in which they parent and the fact that your father deceived you. You're the biggest liar in the building. Do you get that? Don't roll your eyes and look at me. I'm telling you the truth. If there's anything I'm telling you that won't withstand challenge, then bring it on. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I'm telling you, you're the biggest liar in the building. Now, you tell me I'm wrong.
I know I am.
We'll be right back. You're the biggest liar in the building. Do you get that? Don't roll your eyes and look at me. I'm telling you the truth. If there's anything I'm telling you that won't withstand challenge, then bring it on. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I'm telling you, you're the biggest liar in the building. Now, you tell me I'm wrong.
I know I am.
Well, then why are you rolling your eyes like some entitled little brat?
I wasn't rolling my eyes.
Oh, okay. Does it seem like I know an awful lot about y'all's family?
Sure does.
Do you know why I do? There are two reasons I know. One is y'all have been very candid and forthcoming. And the other reason that I know so much about you is it's like looking through a picture window. It is so transparent. Lassie could figure this one out. You buy her a car after she totals it on drugs. Dad, come on. You've got to know, when you look at that, 20/20 hindsight, as they always say, you look back at that, you think, you know what, I just loaded the gun and gave it right back to her, right?
Yeah. I don't have any excuse for it other than,
you don't need one.
Yeah.
What you don't need an excuse because you love her. I get that. I do. And I respect y'all as parents. I do. which may sound funny because I'm saying you're doing so much wrong, but your intention is good. But you are so misguided. And do you see, no matter what I was to do with her, if you continue to, oh, I'm accessible 100%, just call me. I'll pick you up. Hungry? Let me fix you something. Here's $60. You know, go do this. Need a new car? Here you go. No problem. Steal from me? I'll look the other way. There would be no reason in the world for me to do it.
Right.
You see, I take a very different approach to this than you do. My approach is that you call a spade a damn shovel. And I'm saying that this is a spoiled, entitled heroin addict that expects you to bail her out and let her abuse herself in a way that is life-threatening. That can't happen. It cannot happen. And if you can't come over to my side in the way this is handled, then there's no pointing us going forward.
And we're there. Trust me.
On your side.
This is this. Don't know what else to do, Dr. Phil. That's why I'm here. I mean, I think I mentioned I've thrown in the towel. I don't know what else to do for my daughter.
I want you to pick the towel back up and put it around your neck because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. I need you. You're a cop.
Yes, sir.
I need you to bring the professional skepticism to this that you would if you picked up one of these people's kids. And you know what? If you love her, and I know that you do, and I believe that you do as well. I think you've come to know this child, and I think you love her. She needs to know that this is the last time around the track, that you're not going to do this with her anymore. Right. And so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to dismiss y'all right now. I want you guys to go back to the green room without me. And I want you to have a conversation among yourselves back there. And you're either going to come back out here and tell me that everybody's on the same page here. No more coddling this kid. She goes where she needs to go for however long she needs to go, and she has to do whatever she has to do. And let me tell you something. It ain't some 28-day wonder. And very likely, if you do what I might make available to you based on what I hear from this group when you come back, you might never, ever return to your hometown again, ever. Because that's where you do drugs. That's where you get the stuff. That's where your triggers are. That's where it happens. I'm talking about, we're not going to do this just to kind of fill the square and make nice television. I'm saying you may wind up living in Eugene, Oregon, or Paris, France, I don't know, but you won't be back where you threaten your own life with drugs every day. Your life as you know it is going to change dramatically, or I want no part of this. I want no part of this if we're not going all the way. And so you guys, I'm not going to waste the resources. I want you guys to go back. Bones, AJ, I want to take these guys back. We will shut this show down and let you speak as a family. And we're just going to take a big, long break until you get back.
Right? We're doing this. This is it. This is the last time. This is it. We're done. We're clean. We're sober. We're going to be responsible adults and make good decisions. Right? From now on, 2 choices, you're going to make the right one, the good one. Right?
And whatever Dr. Phil says is what you're going to do.
You got to want it, Sid. You don't want
have
it?
to
I
want
do
not
want
us.
it.
Okay.
Not us.
Let's do a group hug. Come on. Love you, right?
We're in agreement. We're in.
Whatever we got to do.
We're in.
We're back. You've just been watching a couple of commercial messages for a few minutes, but we've actually been gone a pretty good while because I asked Tiffany, her biological parents Ken and Susie, and stepmother Christy to go backstage and discuss whether or not they are ready, not just as Tiffany, but as a family unit to do what has to happen to really give Tiffany a chance to get clean and sober once and for all. And I have to say, one of the things that frustrates me most in this profession over the years is people that, like, they'll have a kid or someone that's creating a lot of problems, and they'll drag them to the altar of the therapist, drop them off, and say, okay, fix them, and we'll be back when you call. Well, it's just not that easy. You know, no, you're not going to just drop them off. Everybody's staying. Everybody's staying because there's more to it than just her. You're the squeaky wheel, you're making the noise, but it's about everybody. So I ask you guys to go back and sit down and see if you could redefine a family dynamic here, because I can't do this if y'all are going to sabotage me. Tell me what you have to say.
We're hopeful you can give us some guidance or put us on a path to whatever we need to do to save our daughter. And she wholeheartedly has shared with us that she wants help. I'm just pleased to know that she is still reaching out for some help. And us as a family, we want her here. And I feel, I'm going to go, and you've enlightened me a lot on some of the things that I've done, that I've recognized that I guess the car and the monies and all those things, I think we're going to come to grips with that as well.
Now, I want you to look me in the eye and tell me, I said I was 100% accessible to her.
110% I'm doing this. She's done.
You get it.
I get
You're
it.
tired of
I
being
get it.
used. You're tired of being manipulated. You're
Done.
tired of her using your love as a mother against you.
Done.
You're done.
Done.
No cars, no money, no
Done.
excuses. You're through parenting out of guilt.
She can live under a bridge.
Because you've been parenting from guilt.
Done.
You're behind this 100%.
Yes,
You want to do this?
I do.
There's no leaving this time. You start making noise about leaving, we'll get a 5150 commitment, put your ass right back where you were.
There you go.
And you understand that they're now on my side,
Yep.
and I'm on your side. So we're all pulling for you. I have what I believe are the best people in the country to do this. Rich Whitman, stand up if you would. I've worked with Rich for a number of years. He is now, he's part of our team here. And he guides us and gives us input on placements and where people need to be and that sort of thing. Because we have to be the only television show in the history of television and on the globe that does this for our guests. I mean, we have a 100% resource program. Whoever comes on our show, I'm never under the impression that I'm doing 8-minute cures up here. I don't think I've cured your family dynamic. What I've tried to do is be a compass for you, an emotional compass that gives you a wake-up call, gets your attention, and points you in the right direction. And then I'm going to provide, through their help, resources to empower you as a family to be a positive instead of a negative in this. So you're going to have to do a lot of work in her absence. It isn't just like, okay, got rid of her, woohoo. You got a lot of work. while she's gone. And I'm going to provide that to you at our expense, not yours.
Thank you.
And what I ask in return is you grab on with both hands and you do this. Velvet, stand up if you would. This is Velvet Mangum. She's here. Velvet is the CEO and founder of Safe Harbor Treatment Center for Women. Velvet, your facility is going to meet her on many different levels, not just detox and addiction, but all of the issues that particularly women face in dealing with this. Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. There's a long process to recovery, and it begins with admission, and that's what this family's done today.
You are burning the bridge behind you right here, as scary as that is. We've done this before. Okay? All right. Deal. We'll be right back. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a very special thanks to Safe Harbor Treatment Center for Women and on-site workshops. I really appreciate the skill that they bring to this. Look, drug addiction is a disease, but it can be controlled. It can be managed. We've got lots of resources on drphil.com. So if you're in that situation yourself or somebody you love, go there, but it doesn't get better with time. Don't put it off. Thanks for being here.